Caiaphas was the 69th high priest of the Jews. According to Jewish historian Josephus, he had two names, Joseph and Caiaphas. From AD 6 onwards, Judea was ruled by Roman prefects, procurators. They appointed the high priests. Roman prefect Valerius Gratus appointed Caiaphas in AD 18, but was replaced by Pontius Pilate in AD 26. Pilate served as governor until AD 36 and Caiaphas remained high priest under his rule. However, after Pilate's deposition by the legate of Syria Lucius Vitellius, Caiaphas lost his high priest position. Caiaphas was high priest for about 18 years, from AD 18 to 36. This time period of Caiaphas' high priesthood is very long compared to that of other high priests during the Roman rule in Judea. Notably, half of Caiaphas' ministry took place under Pilate, who treated Jewish rites and customs with insulting disrespect, largely preparing the Jewish uprising of AD 66. Characteristically, Caiaphas lost his position when Vitellius recalled Pilate due to complaints from the Jews, and in contrast to his anti-Jewish policies, he made a concession to Jewish religious feelings by giving them the high priestly garments, which were kept for a long time at the Antonia Fortress. The Antonia Fortress was located at the northwest corner of the courtyard of Jerusalem's temple. Previously, there had been a fortress there, built by Nehemiah during the reconstruction of Jerusalem after the Babylonian exile. Herod the Great invested a lot of money in renovating the fortress and greatly strengthened it. He renamed the fortress, which had formerly been known as Baris, Antonia in honor of Emperor Marcus Antonius. Before Herod's time, the fortress primarily protected the city against attacks, but later, its main purpose became to exercise control over the Jewish people and monitor what happened in the temple, which was accessible directly from the fortress. It is believed that Jesus appeared to Pilate in the central court of the Antonia Fortress. This is supported by the presence of a stone platform there, known as Gabbatha in the Bible. In AD 70, the Roman general Titus destroyed both the Antonia Fortress and the temple along with it. It can be assumed that Caiaphas pleased the Romans, which is why he was able to hold out in the high priestly rank for so long. It was from the high priest and other priests that the call for Pilate to crucify Jesus came. Perhaps they also said that if Pilate left Jesus alive, then the procurator would not be Caesar's friend, because Jesus was supposed to be making himself king. Caiaphas belonged to the Sadducee party, which did not oppose foreign influence in Judea. The Sadducees only recognized the law of Moses and rejected all folk customs accumulated over centuries, as well as the decrees of later law teachers whose purpose was to isolate Jews and protect them from foreign influences. The Sadducees did not believe in universal resurrection, immortality, or angels and spirits. The main events described in the Gospels took place under Caiaphas. John the Baptist preaches at him. Jesus Christ is undergoing his ministry. From the very beginning, Caiaphas opposed Jesus, considering him a deceiver and a false Messiah. Caiaphas resolutely declares the need for the death of Christ instead of the death of the whole people. According to the Gospels, Caiaphas led a meeting of the Sanhedrin regarding the place and time of the capture of Christ and then conducted a night trial of Christ. Finally, Caiaphas is a persecutor of the apostles in the first steps of their activities and participates in a meeting of the Sanhedrin, which tried to stop the preaching of the apostles Peter and John. Although Caiaphas became the official high priest under Roman rule, his father-in-law, Annas, was also influential among the Jews, holding the high priestly position and serving as the head of a family that produced high priests before and after Caiaphas. It is not surprising that Jesus Christ, who was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane, was first taken to Annas. The testimonies of the evangelists and Josephus allow us to conclude that Caiaphas was loyal to the Roman government. Caiaphas' long reign was exceptional compared to his predecessors. The evangelist John points out the fear of the high priest and other religious leaders of the Jewish people before the Roman government. The decisive argument in condemning Jesus Christ is the threat of disloyalty to the emperor. It is not known exactly when and where Caiaphas ended his life. Nowadays, there is an Armenian monastery on the site where the house of Caiaphas stood. In 1990, several ossuary boxes were discovered on the southern outskirts of the Old City in Jerusalem, where the remains of the deceased were stored. They are decorated with reliefs, some of which are covered with cursive inscriptions in Hebrew and Aramaic. One of the ossuaries bears the name of the buried one: Joseph, son of Caiaphas. Inscriptions on other ossuaries indicate that they belong to the same family.